From Jerusalem to Tel Aviv, it looks like we got plasma fire in the Holy Land. Here's some clips from the Minutes of Horror YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description to watch the whole thing. For now, we're just going to watch a few clips.
What in the world is currently going on in Israel? Not only are they saying that they are currently facing one of the worst wildfires they have ever had over in Jerusalem, but over in South Israel there is a horrific sandstorm. This is what these sandstorms currently look like in South Israel. What's also crazy is that today also Egypt had a dust storm that turned the skies orange. But like I said, as South Israel is dealing with this dust storm, Jerusalem was dealing with one of its worst wildfires it has ever had.
Jerusalem's fire chief says these might be the largest wildfires the country has ever seen. Drivers in Israel faced flames blowing across this highway on Wednesday. Some were forced to leave their vehicles and flee on foot as authorities closed Route 1, which connects Jerusalem and Tel Aviv.
That people just ran outside and ran for their lives. See this car, see what happened.
Authorities said the fire is active on multiple fronts, including as close as just 15 miles west of Jerusalem. At least 6 communities have been evacuated and several people are being treated at hospitals due to the fire. More than 100 teams are now working to extinguish the flames, and Israel asking for international assistance to fight the fire.
Now, they do believe that arson may have been suspected. Reading this article here from Times of Israel, they go on to say that arson suspect arrested as authorities probe whether massive fires were started on purpose. So apparently, an arson suspect was arrested Wednesday as authorities were probing whether major brush fires west of Jerusalem were started intentionally and as calls appeared on Palestinian social media to start more blazes. However, authorities said Wednesday evening it was too early to determine the cause of the fires. The article continues to say that a 50-year-old resident of East Jerusalem's Tuba neighborhood, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, was arrested on suspicion of attempting to set fire to vegetation in southern Jerusalem, police said. Police said the suspect attempted to flee from police officers but was nabbed after a brief pursuit. Cops said they found a lighter, cotton wool, and other flammable materials on his person. I mean, maybe these wildfires were started intentionally, but to have these horrific sandstorms taking place at the exact same time, or I think they happened before the wildfires, is absolutely crazy. Now, I don't know if the sandstorm originated in Egypt and made its way over to South Israel, because something like that has happened before, where a major sandstorm will start in Egypt and travel over to Israel, impacting both countries. But like I said, this is coming one day after that news broke out that Israel...
Here's a screenshot I took from Marfugal News where he was talking about these fires in Israel, and I count 18 circles. Oops, let me take that off. 18 circles. You can see 3 on the bottom left and 1 just down into the right of them. That's 4 on the bottom left. another cluster in the middle makes 5, 6, 7, and then there's a fourth one underneath that you can just see the edge of. That's 8. Plus the 3 in the lower right, 9, 10, 11. Uh, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And what do you know? They nabbed 18 people suspected of arson tied to wildfires. Now, if you notice, they were using loosely worded terminologies. Like the first guy, the first report earlier today was that they had arrested one person who was suspected of trying to start a fire. Not that he was arrested for starting fire, arrested for suspected of trying. Which means we don't even know that he actually started a fire, but we suspected him of trying. And they show you a picture with a lighter and some tissues, because he had a lighter in his pocket and some tissues. That's like saying 19 guys with box cutter cars took 2 planes and dropped 3 buildings with them, and if the people in general are that stupid to believe that, well then it is necessary to manage their perception. Because like Will Smith said in Men in Black, when he was talking to his mentor, the older guy, said, why don't you just tell the people the truth about the aliens? And he said, individuals are smart. People are dumb, easily spooked animals. And you know that, Will. I don't want to get angry about this. I was very frustrated earlier. It kind of sucks being the man with one eye in the world. You're not king. In a world of the blind. But if they just arrested one guy and said, oh, we got a guy, suspected him of trying to start a fire. So did he start a fire or not? Well, we suspect that he was trying. Okay, well that explains one fire. What about the other 17 that started simultaneously? And so they said, okay, we'll go get you 17 more suspects because people can see there's nothing natural about 18 fires starting all at once. So it must be coordinated and orchestrated. And in Israel, it's easy to say, well, maybe it was an organized attack because they're surrounded by enemies. But then you have Greece, who arrested 79 arson suspects. Is there an ongoing war in Greece with their neighbors? No. But they have to put out these headlines about people doing it intentionally. Otherwise, the public can see this doesn't happen naturally, or at least not in the world as we've always known it. And they certainly cannot have the public coming to the understanding that these are naturally happening in the new world as we've come to know it in this electrified environment that we find ourselves in. So once again, the wind picked up at the same time as the fires. Ionic wind, aka electric wind. A fluctuation in the magnetic field creates a surge of ground current that creates the plasma fires, and ionic wind or electric wind.
Guys, in this video, we're going to look at video footage of pulsing skies, pulsing lights at a nearly empty shipping port. We've seen massive blackouts in the United States, an increase in earthquakes and volcanic activity. And yet another example of blue rain. Is something big happening? Let's take a closer look and see. Start off real quick with another photo sent in by Ted out of Calamasa, California, of another example of the blue rain. Are you serious right now? I've done some research on this phenomena that there's not a whole lot of information about, and the research that I found gave some possibilities of pollen in the air and maybe pollutants and things like that, but we've always had pollen in the air and we've always had pollutants in the air, and we haven't always seen blue rain. As far as I know, this is something very new and very mysterious. And speaking of mysterious, is nature trying to tell us something? Here's something new. We've seen hundreds of videos of pulsing lights, mysterious malfunctioning lights all around the world. Now I'm receiving video footage of pulsing skies, and there doesn't seem to be a logical explanation for this. Thomas Lawson, April 29th at 10:42 p.m. Couldn't help but notice the sky pulsating in bright orange. Not sure of the location. I'm waiting to hear back from Thomas on the exact location he saw this phenomena in the sky at 10:42 p.m. And he said right there, what is going on over there? Doesn't appear to be lightning, didn't even appear to be storming. This video here is out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the 28th the night before. Video footage sent in by April. And what do you know? Pulsating sky, and it just happens to be orange. Two different people that, as far as I know, don't know each other on two separate nights. Notice the skies of the Earth pulsating orange, and there doesn't appear to be any type of lightning or storm activity in the area. Is this possibly the same rare atmospheric anomaly they were talking about involving the huge blackout over in Spain, France, Portugal, and Belgium? Yesterday, there was a large outage over here in the United States involving over 480,000 customers. I believe this was actually caused by inclement weather. At one time, there was 383,000 customers without power in Pennsylvania. And this video footage here was sent in by Christopher out of Hershey, Pennsylvania. This does coincide with the power outages, and you can see what he's filming here. An absolutely massive roll cloud that occupies the sky as far as he can see in both directions. Unbelievable. That's what compelled him to take that rare footage. You don't see those very often inland. I've received several videos from Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida of this phenomena, again, primarily along the coast. That one there was inland. This next video is of purple lightning. I'm assuming this is lightning. Video sent in by Angel Wings from the night of April 28th of 2025. Not sure of the location. Waiting to hear back on the exact location, but you can see the sky is clearly pulsating purple, light blue at times. More than likely, that is lightning, unlike the orange pulses that we saw earlier of unknown origins. Could this be some form of electrical interference? Something big seems to be sweeping the Earth. I have more examples of the flashing light phenomena. Here in the United States, we're up to 463. More than 1,100 videos have been shared with me of this flashing light phenomena that is indeed sweeping the Earth. This first video has narration out of Long Beach, California. Check this out.
Well, here you go. Once again, I've never actually seen this down here. This is down in Long Beach, California. But I've worked down here 10 years, and I've never seen the lights do this before. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. No reason whatsoever for this.
And look what's down the road to the left. This used to be one of the busiest shipping ports in America. It's very, very quiet right now. And example number 2 is not in the United States, as I can see the driver is sitting on the right-hand side of the car. Yet another excellent example by Tebs, 428 of 2025. Look at the lights, big street lights, flickering for unknown reasons, just like the ones.
So, America, it's very, very...
Absolutely crazy. No reason whatsoever.
He just said, check my Patreon. It's urgent. Right as he starts talking about the empty ports, shelves are going to be empty in a couple weeks. It's already starting.
Used to be one of the busiest shipping ports in America. It's very, very quiet right now. And example number 2 is not in the United States, as I can see the driver is sitting on the right-hand side of the car. Yet another excellent example by Tebs, 428 of 2025. Look at the lights, big street lights, flickering for unknown reasons, just like the one Scott saw, and he had never seen anything like it. They've never seen anything like it. Something is sweeping the Earth, guys. This is not a coincidence. Something big is going on. It's almost as if the Earth is trying to manage an abundance of electricity, and sometimes the overflow is showing up in signs like you see right here in this video sent in by David and Ashley out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, also from the night of 428 of 2025. That is a street sign, not a street light. Once again, out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Here's example number 4 by Jan out of Moss, Norway. 4:30 of 2025, just under 48 hours ago. This light is normally on steady, according to Jan. It's never blinked until now. Example number 5, video footage sent in by Russ G, also from 4:28 of 2025. The last 72 hours have been very, very busy. He sent in this example of flashing lights right there. You can see one flashing. And then the purple lights, the lights that seem to be turning purple in clusters. Not just one here, one there. Big groups of them all malfunctioning at the same time. There's a flashing light right there, as if the lights that are turning purple are reacting to something. Here recently, within the last 7 days, there's been an uptick in earthquake activity around the world. No large earthquakes, but earthquakes in general. There's been an increase in volcanic activity around the world. Check this out. A volcano down in Bolivia that's been dormant for 250,000 years, they call it the zombie volcano, is coming back to life. Are you serious right now? And globally, yes, there's been an increase in volcanic activity. Alaska, Iceland, Philippines, Mount Etna in Italy, and of course Mount Kilauea in Hawaii, just to name a few. But the big one here, the zombie volcano that's been quiet for 250,000 years, coming back to life. I know you guys have been very intrigued about the increase in private jet activity above the United States, and this is what I found yesterday above New York, Pennsylvania, and on this map, it's partial states, not the entire state. Parts of New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Kentucky, North Carolina, West Virginia, and Tennessee. 152 private jets in the air at 10:04 Eastern Time. And here's another map. I primarily just focused on the eastern United States. I didn't even look out west. This map here shows Kansas, Oklahoma, North Texas, and Missouri. This is about as far west as I got. At 10:05 a.m., there was 105 in this location. Here's another one. South Louisiana, South Mississippi, Florida, and the Gulf. 100 at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. And here's one more map that I did yesterday. 97 planes in the air at the same time, 9:02 Eastern Time, above North and South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, West Virginia, and Tennessee. 97. So all four of these maps total equal 454 private jets in the air at 10 a.m. when I took a screen grab. So there you have it, guys. It looks like to me the private jet activity is increasing, if anything. It's definitely not decreasing, that's for sure. 454 yesterday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the skies are pulsing, the earth is rumbling, and grids are going down. Once again, is the earth trying to tell us something? It certainly looks like it is. So stay alert, watch the skies, stay curious, stay aware, and remember, the sky is indeed talking. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.
So as he said, the Earth seems to be trying to manage an influx of abundance of electricity or energy, which would be accountable for everything from the sky flashing, like a plasma discharge, those orange colors, the purple lightning, the street lights flashing, the plasma fires, and the private jets seem to indicate they got a heads up, like in the movie Leave the World Behind, created by President Barack Obama, that the best you can hope for is to get a heads up. And it's looking like those who are going to get a heads up are receiving that heads up right now. The 3 Muse messages for this video will be linked in the description. They're all by Ed Sheeran. Make It Rain, You Can't Stop the Rain, and I See Fire. And they're all singing about this storm, this plasma storm. Well, I know there can come fire from the sky to refine the purest of kings. And even though I know this fire brings me pain, even so and just the same, make it rain down, Lord, make it rain. Well, I know there can come tears from the eyes, but they may as well all be in vain. And even though I know these tears come with pain, even so and just the same, make it rain down, Lord, make it rain. And let the clouds fill with thunderous applause, and let lightning be the veins, and fill the sky with all that they can draw when it's time to make a change. Make it rain down, Lord. You can't stop the rain. Another human cloud to bring you down when you blew the last away. And bring out a poison tongue, a plastic crown, but for me they look the same. Sometimes it can get too much for me, and that's why the photograph gets burned. Throw the match in gasoline. You can't stop the rain, no way. Holding an umbrella when the great clouds come over again. Trying to find something real, but that's not the game they play. Pretending that the weather is all in your mind. You got no one to blame, but that's just the way I feel. You cannot stop the rain, no way. Holding an umbrella when the great clouds come over again. And every time it gets more and more ugly. And that's why the photograph gets burned. Throw the match in gasoline. O misty eye of the mountain below, keep careful watch of my brother's souls. And should the sky be filled, I gotta say it to the rhythm and beater, it doesn't even come through my brain. O misty eye of the mountain below, keep careful watch of my brother's souls. And should the sky be filled with fire and smoke, keep watching over journeying souls. If this is the end in fire, then we should all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, oh, stand by and we will watch the flames burn auburn on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the night, and I see fire inside the mountains. I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire hollowing souls. I see fire, blood in the breeze, and I hope that you remember me. And if we should die tonight, then we should all die together. Raise a glass of wine for the last time, calling out, Father, oh, prepare as we will watch the flames burn auburn on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside of mountains, and I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire hollowing souls. I see fire, blood in the breeze, and I hope that you remember me. Should my people fall, then surely I'll do the same. Confined in mountain halls, we got too close to the flame. Calling out, Father, oh, hold fast and we will watch the flames burn auburn on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky. Now I see fire inside the mountain, etc. I hope you remember me. And if the night is burning, I will cover my eyes, for if the dark returns, then my brothers will die. And as the sky is falling down and crashed into this lonely town, and with that shadow upon the ground, I hear my people screaming loud, and I see fire inside of mountains, and I see fire burning the trees, and I see fire hollowing souls. I see fire, blood in the breeze. You know, I saw a city burning, and I see fire. Feel the heat upon my skin, and I see fire